Today, our D-Day, when we are carrying out these historical nominations, and we are doing the briefing in a very good place, where no other briefings have ever happened. A wonderful place. This is the Hasra Center. And our nominations kicked off all over the country as we had planned, and the board can confirm all party members are voting in a peaceful atmosphere. Overnight, the materials were delivered to various polling centers in the country. We urge all our aspirants to be very peaceful as this board carries out the largest nomination exercise ever to happen in this wonderful country, Kenya. We have even pool observers, including international observers, who have been granted full access to our polling stations. We are satisfied with the progress so far. Of the 35 counties where nominations are taking place, from Meru to Mombasa, from Kisii to Turkana, from Kirinyaga to Trans Nzoia, from Isiolo to Kajiado, the primaries are going on as scheduled. The board has noted a few challenges which are, however, being sorted out. Throughout the night, all these board members have not slept. We are in the office sorting out these logistical problems and incidences. Like Bomet, where we had a peculiar incident where materials for our 4 polling centers were destroyed, but we have been able to mop up. And the voting is going on in more than 582 polling centers in Bomet. So we cannot complain, everything is going as scheduled. In Kisii, we had an issue of a shortage of ballot boxes, but we have already sorted that one out. There have been allegations of fake ballot papers. Those are unfounded rumors. We have found none. Our ballot papers are peculiar. They have got the watermark, serial numbers. They are seriously serialized, and nobody can give an evidence that they have been found anywhere. They cannot even be photocopied. We are largely satisfied as a board about this progress. So far, the turnout has been very good and believable, and we are in touch with our returning officers all over. We are calling them after each and every 30 minutes, all of us members of the board, including our party leader, who have really given us a lot of support. The whole night we have spent there together with him. The only people who we really missed are you people, because I thought that you'd be coming there to the whole yesterday night, so that we spent there, arrange everything, organize about the logistics, and make sure that this election will be successful. So make sure that tonight we sleep there together as comrades in this struggle of democracy. There were a little bit of a destruction of electoral materials in Embu, but that issue was sorted out, and the aspirants who had caused that commission have been summoned by the disciplinary committee of the UDA party to appear before it on Saturday. And we have emphasized time and again that we don't condone violence, and violence have got repercussions. And in our party, violence leads to automatic disqualification, even expulsion from our party. We have postponed elections in Bumura, Turkana Central, and Turkana East, as I told you yesterday, and we will be carrying them on 19th, including in Mount Elgon and Kakamega. We are carrying them tomorrow. This affects very few constituencies and county assembly. And as a board, we are really pleased with the happenings. Whatever we have done, no other party is carrying out such nominations. We are happy, we are excited, and we can say that 95% of whatever you wanted to achieve, you have achieved it. Thanks so much, members of the 4th Estate. I will invite my colleague, comrade in this struggle, Professor Kindiki, to talk to you about the political process of these nominations. Karibu sana, Professor.
Good morning. Thank you, Anthony Mwaura, Chairperson of the National Election Board of the United Democratic Alliance Party, the youngest and the largest party in the history of Kenya. This morning, ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to announce that at 7 a.m., polling centers in all the 47 counties opened for the primaries of the UDA nominations. And as the chairperson of the National Elections Board has already said, largely we have witnessed orderly and peaceful nominations, despite the few instances of logistical challenges that are normal in an exercise of this magnitude. As you are aware, the party primaries for our party are taking place, as the chairman has said, in about 128 constituencies or thereabout, and in 35 counties. And this is only where you have more than one candidate contesting for the various seats. In the parts of the country where we do not have more than one candidate, of course, there is no need for nomination. Otherwise, the UDA is fielding candidates for all elective positions in all the 47 counties. In some parts of the country, we have received reports that there were slight delays occasioned by logistical challenges. Those logistical challenges are being addressed, and as far as we are concerned, voting is underway across the country. Secondly, we are happy to note that the process is peaceful, except in isolated cases of disorderly conduct, which are being handled by the relevant party structures. In particular, the case of Bomet has been addressed, and the case of the destruction of poll materials in Embu County last evening has been taken over by the UDA disciplinary committee. The aspirants whose supporters were responsible for that exercise have already been summoned to appear before the disciplinary committee on Saturday at 9 o'clock at this venue. As a party, we abhor violence, intimidation, and obstruction of democracy. That is well espoused in the party constitution, the nomination rules, and the code of conduct for aspirants and party members. Preliminary investigations have indicated, including video footage and other evidence in the possession of the disciplinary committee, have indicated that the arson and destruction of poll material that took place in Embu yesterday was linked to some of our aspirants vying for various seats in that county. a very, very detailed summons has been issued detailing the charges, the particular charges that those aspirants are facing so that they can prepare their defense. We want to note and announce to the country that the UDA party takes electoral violence extremely seriously, and the consequences of electoral violence for any party member or an aspirant include, but is not limited to, disqualification of the aspirants, irrespective of the outcome of today's exercise. Also, if those accusations are proven to be true, the consequences include suspension of such aspirants or party members from the party, or even complete expulsion. On behalf of the party, therefore, the board and the leadership of the party firmly asks all aspirants who are participating in today's exercise to refrain from any acts of violence, intimidation, or obstruction of the process. We will be monitoring very carefully the activity that will take place this evening after the closure of the poll stations, because many politicians are unable to deal with the reality of defeat. And therefore, those who are tempted to try and disrupt or otherwise interfere with the tallying and announcement of results, please be informed that our Constitution empowers the party to act firmly, strongly, and resolutely on violence, intimidation, and obstruction of democracy. Having said so, let me add as I end that there have been cases of late opening of polling centers in very few places across the country. In such cases, the party, through the National Elections Board, will extend the voting hours to ensure that the process is as fair as possible to everyone and to every part of the country that is participating in this exercise. And now, therefore, I want to assure, and we want to assure as a party, the people of Kenya and our party supporters, this exercise will go down in history as one of the most extensive, complex, yet successful democratic processes within our party. And all those other political parties that would want to learn how to do things, please watch your televisions, listen to your radios, and pick your lessons. In fact, I am not aware of any other political party engaged in this kind of exercise with this magnitude, with these complexities, including parties which have been in existence for 30 years, 40 years, 20 years. UDA is 1 year old. It is setting the pace, the party to watch now and in the future. Thank you very much. God bless Kenya. We shall keep you updated throughout the day. And as the chairman of the National Elections Board has said, please join us in keeping the night vigil, members of the fourth estate. There is tea, mandazi, dinner, breakfast, but there is no accommodation, but you're welcome. Thank you very much. There is no bed, but there's breakfast, there's dinner, there's mandazi, there's tea, and other conveniences, except beds. We are not sleeping until this process is over. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki. Thanks so much. If there is a question or one or two, we can take chairman and myself.
Thanks so much, Professor. And members of the fourth estate.
Check. There's a question.
Before Julius asked his question, even me, sometimes I usually have got questions. Members of the fourth estate, why are you cancelling my elections? You people, you are going ahead and telling people out there that we have cancelled the elections in Kuresoi, we have cancelled the election in Barigo, and you are not members of this National Election Board. You are supposed to get every confirmation from me, and there is no election which is going to be cancelled whatsoever, as long as the ballot papers and all the materials arrive in time. We are not going to cancel any elections. And moreover, some of these logistical problems we got were beyond our control. It was the issue of fuel. We could not even get enough fuel to take our materials. It was beyond us. But please don't cancel our elections. What you are supposed to do is encouraging our voters to go out there and vote. Support us in this democratic process. Anybody who have got a question? Mm-hmm. Julius Edrea? Okay.
You say that you summoned the aspirants who are responsible for, who are being linked to yesterday's destruction of all materials in Embu. I don't know whether it is possible to know the names of these aspirants.
It is in the public domain, and the professor here can confirm.
Before I answer your question, Julius, we are also asking our supporters across the country, now that we have assured them of peace and tranquility and order and action, where there is breach of peace, we are asking all our supporters to go and vote their leaders of choice. Please, before the polling stations close, get out and vote. Now, Julius, you have asked about the names of the suspects, and I think the suspects have already been notified. 3 suspects. Investigations are going on. There could be more suspects, so maybe we can release the full name of suspects in the course of the day when the investigations are complete. But already letters have gone out to 3 suspects. We'll release that list in the course of the day. Any other question?
So I'm Dubi Moturi from the Daily Nation. There's some polling stations where the voting exercise has not begun, and you have said it has begun across the country. We're talking about in Kisii County, we have some information in Bobasi and Kitutu Church North. Voting is yet to begin. What are you doing to make sure this exercise begins in these areas? And also, why have you postponed your elections in Mount Elgon and Kakamega? Thank you.
My good friend, I can tell you, voting in Kisii started 1 hour ago. In Kakamega and Mount Elgon, those are the only places we'll be doing our nominations tomorrow. Because of logistical problems, but more so in Mount Elgon, there was a little bit of violence, which we have warned the aspirants, and they decided to barricade the road where you are supposed to pass. They never wanted those elections. We have warned them, and we have agreed with them, and we have talked to them, and we have agreed that the material we should start distributing our materials tonight for the elections tomorrow, because the materials were for Mount Elgon and Kakamega were in one vehicle. Any other question?
Yes, Mugambi from Citizen TV. My question is, there are some leaders who are aspirants calling for the postponement of the exercise in their areas. This includes areas like Bomet and also MP Sosion. Is that going to happen?
I've already said that there's nobody who is going to postpone our elections, including you members of the fourth estate. The only people who are going to postpone our elections are just on us. To us, they are not special aspirants. All aspirants are the same. Whether you are fighting for the first time or you have been there for all the times. Any other question?
Yes, my name is Daniel Karaoke, KTN News. Now, most of the areas you've said the exercise started a bit late. Are you going to add more time maybe later on, as of course you are to close by 5 p.m. and they have started, like for instance, you've given a case that has started 1 hour ago. Are you going to add more time?
Professor had already addressed that. We are going to do it on pro rata basis. If you opened it 2 hours late, we are going to extend for 2 hours.
My name is Paul Kirobi from TV 47. I'm receiving concerns here that election is not going on in CBD, Mudhuru, and St. Peter's.
I already talked to the father in charge of St. Peter's, and just note that I'm one of the best members of the Catholic Church. I'm a Catholic. It's very unfortunate that we are doing it on Holy Thursday. I've talked to the father in charge. We have agreed, and they have given us 2 classrooms to conduct our elections in those 2 classrooms. Many other questions? Thanks so much, members of the fourth estate. Let us meet in the afternoon.